Okay, so the translation of the relationships into relations can be very different from entities we showed before. In this page, I'd like to show you about translation of the many-to-many relationship into relations. So when we represent the relation of this many-to-many relationship, and the main focus will be the attributes to be covered in the new relation. So as shown in this page, in translating a many-to-many relationship set to a relation, the attributes of the new relation must cover two main groups of attributes. The first group of attributes are the keys of each participating entity, which will be used as the foreign keys for the new relation, right? Also, the combination of the set of attributes or the key attributes will actually form a super key for the new relation we create for the new relationship. What is a super key? Super key denotes a combination of multiple keys, which together will form a super key for a relation. This is the first category, and the second category of attributes are actually the descriptive attributes of the relationship itself. If you still remember before, right, we have an example about the attributes on relationships when we do the purchase of some products on a specific date, and we can use this date as an attribute of the relationship, right? So we can also cover all these descriptive attributes in the new relation as well. So this is about translation of a many-to-many relationship. So we can use an example to illustrate how can we do the translation of such a relationship. So if you can see in this page, we show you an example we used before in the ER model, right? So this is about the works-in relationship between employees and departments. We have two entities here. The first one is the employee. It has three attributes: SSN, name, and not. The second one is the department. It covers three attributes: DID. It means the department ID, department name, as well as the budget. So for employees, the SSN is a key, and for departments, the DID is a key, and we have an underline here as shown here. Right? Between the employees and the departments, we have a relationship. It is many-to-many relationship works in. It denotes the employee works in some departments. And for the workers in this relationship, we have one more attribute to describe the starting date of the employee works for some department, right? It means the since date. Okay, so when we translate this kind of ER diagram into relations, we need to translate both the employees entities, department entities, as well as this works in relationship. Before, we have shown you how to do the translation of the employees, right? And I can copy the relation we created before. And so we can create a one employee relation as shown here, right? We have three attributes: SSN, name, and not. SSN is a key, so we have the underline of SSN as shown here, right? So this is employees. Besides employees, we can also create a relation for departments as well, right? So I can create a new relation for department. So this part I can change this employees to a department as a new relation name, right? And so for the attributes covered in this department, we have the DID. It is a char, for example. This DID is let me remove the underline first. Char like a 5, for example. And we also have the name, right? Department name. We can use char. Now we can use 30, right? In addition, we also have the budget information for the departments. We can use budget, right? And for the budget, I can use another data type. We can use a real number. It's a real number. Okay, so this will be the relation we can create for departments. Whenever you create a new relation, ask yourself what is the key for the relation, right? Here it will be the DID. Therefore, we have one underline below the DID to highlight it is a key for the relation. Okay, so this is the employees and departments. Next, let's come to the works-in relationship. How can we do the translation for this one? According to the previous page in the slides, so when we do the translation of the many-to-many relationship into a relation, The attributes of the new relation must include two parts: the keys of participating entities as well as all the descriptive attributes, right? So the keys of the participating entities covers both the SSN of employees and the DID of departments, right? And for the descriptive attributes, it covers only one single attribute, the things, the date information, right? Therefore, we can represent the translated relation for the works-in as shown here. Let me write down it here. We can have the relation name as works-in, right? It is a relation. It covers a bunch of attributes. The first one will be the SSN, right? It is the key of the employees. Besides this, we also have DID. It is also the key of the departments, this entity. So we have char, right? And we also have the things. It is a date, right? And then we have the relation for the works-in. Are we done or not? So ask yourself, whenever you create a new relation, ask yourself, what is the key, right? What is the key for the new relation? We created the works-in, this new relation for the works-in relationship, right? And according to the slide we show here, the set of these key attributes from these participating entities, they will form a super key for the relation. In other words, for the works-in, this relation we create here, the keys will be the combination of SSN with DID, right? So they together will form the new key for the works-in relation. It is also easier to understand, right? When we create a new table for the works-in and we want to identify one single tuple in the table, it will be some employee information as well as department information, right? SSN, DID together will be the key for the works-in this relation. Okay, so this is about relation. And based on it, we can further create a table for it, right? I mean, we can create a table for the works-in relation, which we show here. And we can do so by writing down. I can write down here. So we can create table, right? Works-in, right? It is a table. It has a bunch of attributes. And we can have the first attribute to be SSN, right? It is char 9, for example. We have a DID. It is a char 5, right? We have things. It is a date, right? Not a char anymore. And are we finished or not? Not yet, right? Whenever you create a table, you also need to ask yourself, what is the key for the table? So here for the works-in, we show that the key will be the combination of SSN with DID. Therefore, we can write down the key will be primary key, right? It will be a combination of SSN and DID, right? Are we finished or not? Are we done with this table or not? Remember, this SSN is not an attribute of the works-in relationship. This SSN is a borrowed attribute from the employees, right? The DID is a borrowed attribute from departments. In other words, when we create a works-in this table, we have to refer to the employees this table as well as departments this table, right? And this SSN and DID will be the foreign key, right? If you still remember, it will be the foreign key referencing to some other tables. Therefore, we have to add some more lines below. It will be a foreign key, right? Foreign key. The first one is SSN, right? It refers to the employees. I hope you still remember how we refer to some tables, right? We have reference, employees is a table name, right? Even though we didn't show the table in this page. Employees. Besides this, we also need to have a foreign key. It will be DID, right? Reference to the departments. Departments and employees will be two other tables we create based on these two relations. We didn't show them here. Okay, Then that's it for the worksheet. This table we can create, right? So pay attention to the primary key and the foreign key we show here. When you write down your own table, you also need to ask yourself what is the key for the new table, as well as do we have any foreign keys to be referred to in this table. Okay, so this is about this example. Let's come back to the slides. And at the bottom of this page, we show the same worksheet in this table as we showed before, right? So we will highlight the primary key and the foreign keys here. So you can use this example to understand how we create a relation for a many-to-many relationship. Okay, and in the next page, we'll show you the translation of some special relationships with other constraints like one-to-many and one-to-one. The translation rules will be slightly different, and we'll show why we need to make some changes and motivations in the following pages.